G'day Pickleball family. First thing to know, as shared on the dinkpickleball.com by author Adam Forziati, cease and desist order issued against fraudulent pickleball company. With all the businesses cropping up around pickleball, it was only a matter of time until something fishy went down. Rodney Grubbs, proprietor of the Indiana company All About Pickleball LLC, also known as Pickleball Rocks, reportedly found a way to scam people out of investment in his company. The Indiana Securities Division of the Indiana Secretary of State's office have issued a cease and desist order against Grubbs for an alleged fraudulent investment scheme. Grubbs reportedly solicited promissory notes from investors containing a 12% interest rate and an 18% penalty provision if the note defaulted. As part of the scheme, Grubbs is alleged to have encouraged investors to roll over the investment into a new one, thereby avoiding default and avoiding paying any of the investors their returns, the petition says. In most securities transactions, the duty is on the seller of the security to make all the proper disclosures to the buyer regarding the investment. To do otherwise can lead to criminal or civil violations of Indiana law. According to the Secretary of State's office's press release, Grubbs also used pickleball tournaments to meet and solicit investors. He told them at the time the money they invested would be used to grow his company by allowing him to buy more inventory, the release says. Grubbs allegedly told multiple investors that the slot was the last available one, thereby misrepresenting the size and true nature of the investment opportunity. Many of Grubbs' investors have not been repaid. What's even more intriguing is that less than a week before the cease and desist was issued, Grubbs posted on his personal LinkedIn account asking for advice in selling a pickleball business. I'm sure Grubbs wishes he sold it sooner. Second thing to know, as shared on pickleballunion.com, James Blake, Jack Sock and Am Slam tournament added to Pickleball Slam 2. Pickleball Slam 2, the second iteration of the Pickleball Slam series, will be taking place at the Hard Rock Live at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida on February 4. As an added attraction, an amateur pickleball event open to all South Florida residents has also been announced and will serve as the hors d'oeuvres to the main event. The tournament will take place on Friday and Saturday, February 2 and 3. Teams will compete for $25 in $25,000 rather in prize money and the chance to play against tennis legends Andre Agassi, Steffi Graf, Maria Sharapova and John McEnroe. The Am Slam features 64 teams, single gender and mixed gender teams allowed. To be eligible for registration, teams cannot have a combined duper doubles rating over 8.5. The top team from each group, 16 groups of 4 teams in each, will advance to a single elimination bracket. The team that finishes second in group play will advance to a single elimination consolation bracket. The winner of the main draw and the consolation draw will face off against 2 of the legends in a game to 11. Additionally, fans can come out and watch for free both days on Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. The 4 legends will compete in Slam 2 for a total prize purse of $1 million. It will be telecast live by ESPN at 8:30 p.m. Also taking part will be former tennis players turned pickleballers Jack Sock and James Blake, also the owner of the pro pickleball team in Major League Pickleball, the Milwaukee Mashers. There will be 3 matches, McEnroe and Blake versus Agassi and Sock, Sharapova and Blake versus Graf and Sock, and McEnroe-Sharapova versus Agassi and Graf. Sock and Blake will both assist in coaching the 2 teams, Agassi, Graf and McEnroe-Sharapova, and they will compete in 2 of the matches before the main event on Sunday. I am fairly new to pickleball, but I feel like my experience in playing tennis at a very high level will help minimize the learning curve, said Sock, who returns to where he had such great success at the Delray Beach Open in tennis. There are a lot of things in pickleball that I can enjoy from my early tennis days, such as hands battles, precise shots, the cat and mouse games, he said. Many of my skills from tennis, such as quick twitch movement, hand-eye coordination, footwork, and knowing how to play with dimensions and angles, help my pickleball game, said Sock. The inaugural Pickleball Slam was a first of its kind event, and the afternoon telecast was the highest rated competition in pickleball history. David Levy, co-CEO of HS&E, the organising events company, said following the success of the inaugural Pickleball Slam, we're excited to return to the Hard Rock and present Slam 2 in prime time on ESPN, an ideal time slot coming out of the network's coverage of the NFL Pro Bowl and an NBA regular season game. It's great to have both John and Andre return for Slam 2, in pairing them up with Stephanie and Maria, two of the greatest and most competitive players in the history of tennis. There's sure to be no shortage of incredible action and entertaining moments on the court. Levy said one significant change to this year's event is that it will air live on primetime. He also pointed out that the four legends have a combined total of 42 Grand Slams in tennis. The inaugural Slam was a first of its kind televised event that delivered on many levels, from a record-breaking capacity crowd to strong social engagement to a telecast that peaked with nearly 800,000 viewers. For more information and to register for the Amateur Slam Challenge, visit thepickleballslam.com. And if you've made it this far into the update, please be sure to dink that like button and rate and subscribe on the platform you're watching or listening to it on, so that this and future updates can be shared with and found by other fellow pickleballers. Third thing to know, as shared on Pickleball England's pickleball52.com site, public pickleball courts installed in London Decathlon sporting goods store. Decathlon has installed 2 pickleball courts at its flagship store in London, Surrey Quays, which are the first dedicated pay and play indoor courts in the UK. Sporting goods retailer's 3-story store in southeast London features many sports facilities, including a spectacular rooftop tennis court and an activity space on the 2nd floor, which has previously hosted rollerblading, skateboarding, parkour, table tennis, and a golf simulator. The idea to add 2 pickleball courts to the activity space belonged to Decathlon's marketplace partnerships manager, Oliver Rawlings. Oliver is the founder of Central London Pickleball Club, which he started a year ago. Members play every Tuesday at a school in Camden. Oliver discovered the sport while on holiday in Florida 3 years ago and has been hooked ever since. He told Pickleball 52, before I put the courts in at Decathlon, nobody in the office had ever played pickleball before. Now, pretty much everybody at Decathlon is playing. I now really want to encourage members of the public to use it so that as many people get to experience the game as possible. Staff are already using them every day between 12 and 1 p.m, and bookings are already busy up to the end of February. Fourth thing to know, as shared on the housepickleball.com site, National Pickleball League Australia hosts tennis Naomi Osaka and Nick Kyrgios for a pop-up event at the QT Melbourne Hotel. Last week's National Pickleball League Australia rooftop event at the Rooftop at QT Hotel in Melbourne, a couple of familiar faces dropped by to hit the pickleball courts in the form of tennis stars Naomi Osaka and Nick Kyrgios. To truly grow pickleball in Australia, we must attract the mainstream crowd, said NPL CEO Ron Shell. Having the biggest names in tennis play on a National Pickleball League pickleball court is just one part of our grand plan for this sport in Australia. Paddles up.